Chung, your go-to for all things marketing, mindset, and manifestation. I grew my online business from 0 to beyond 6 figures in 8 months. My purpose is to empower women to step into the highest, most aligned versions of themselves. If you are ready to take charge of your life, learn how to design a wildly successful business, and leave limiting beliefs behind, you've come to the right place. You will learn the actionable tips and step-by-step strategies on money, manifestation, and social media. It's time to step into your role as boss, to raise your vibration and tap into your unlimited potential today. Welcome to the Social Reset Podcast. So, what I do want to start on is talking about how making money in your business and becoming the wealthiest, highest earning version of yourself gets to start with you solving for fun in your business. It's funny, I actually coached I feel like I coached a couple people on this week, and it is just, I think that sometimes what happens is we get so serious, so damn serious, that we forget that business and life gets to be so fun. We become so focused on all the things that we want to create, all the things that we need to do, the money that we want to make, which is all fun and good, but we have to remember that we are on a rock in the middle of the fucking universe, at the end of our lives. None of this shit's really gonna matter. We might as well just have as much fun as we can as possible, right? We should just allow ourselves to make things a little bit more lighthearted and create more fun, create more joy, especially while we're working towards our goals. So what I want to talk about in terms of reaching your goals, reaching your milestones, is deciding and discovering what is going to bring you the most joy and bring you the feeling that lights you up from the inside, whatever that looks like and feels like and means to you, right? It doesn't have to be the word joy, it doesn't have to be the word fun. It could be pleasure, what is the most pleasurable? It could be what is the most sparkly? What does your inner sparkle lead you towards, right? It could be whatever it is that you want, right? But what I'm trying to get at here is especially when it comes to creating content, right? When you are in your most expansive joy and you're tapped into your magic and it feels good in your body, that is the combo that you want to encapsulate, right? What are you thinking? Plus, what are you feeling in your body? And then going to take action afterwards, right? I think so many of us stay in this cycle of action. If I do this, if I follow this strategy, if I try this new thing, if I do that new thing, then I'll get the results that I want. And if that were true, then we would all just follow the same cookie cutter strategy, and then we would all get incredible results and we would all be successful, right? But that's clearly not the case, because there are people who have been in business for years and years, and right, maybe they're not seeing the results that they want. There are people that just started and they see incredible, insane success. So there are so many ways to create our results that have nothing to do with taking action in your business. And not to say that we don't need action or that action is not something that we should be taking. Of course, you should be taking action. But what we forget a lot of the time is that our thoughts are the things that create our results. It's not the actions. It is your thoughts. Everything goes back to your thoughts. Everything goes back to your thinking. Okay. So what I typically do, and what I was coaching one of my clients on earlier this week, was what sounds and feels expansive and joyful and fun to you? And what is that emotion that you feel in your body? And then from there, you want to start with the feeling. What creates this feeling in your body? What creates this this sensation, right? So you want to pinpoint it down to a specific sensation. It could be so first you want to kind of feel it in your body, like when you're truly like in your most grounded, deep knowing of joy, like you feel it in all areas. Excuse me. You feel it in all areas of your body, right? You want to pinpoint to a specific location that you feel it the most, right? So for my client earlier, it was her heart, and it was this like growing and building and spreading sensation coming from her heart. For me, especially as a generator, like everything I feel in my sacral, I just like feel everything in my sacral and my womb. And so it comes from my womb space, it comes from my sacral chakra. And from there, I feel a rising. It feels sparkly. It feels like it's spreading to all different places in my body. And so for me, I try to really focus in and feel into that feeling. And sometimes I speak to that space in my body. I speak to that specific chakra. I ask it what it needs. I ask what would make it even more, joyful and expansive, right? So I speak directly to that part of my body. And you can have an entire dialogue with like a specific energy or space in your body, and just kind of go back and forth and ask it questions and just see what it says to you, and see how, like, what do you receive, and how can you listen to that and fully receive it without any judgment, right? So going back to the feeling of fun and joy, right? So you have that feeling. So say for me, it's like my sacral chakra and it's rising, right? So I start with that feeling, and then I start thinking about and creating more and more thoughts that make me feel that sensation. So for me, it's like the sparkling, the rising, right? What are thoughts that I can continue to think that make me feel that way? And then with that thought feeling combo, then I go into action, right? We don't start with the action and try to do more and more and more action. That is what ends up burning us the fuck out, right? That's why there's so many people that just feel so exhausted in their work and in their day-to-day, and they have no idea why or what to do about it. And it's because they keep taking this action that maybe it's just action that makes them feel productive, right? This like busy work that we used to get as kids in school from like substitute teachers and like teachers that just wanted us to be quiet for an hour. Like, it's literally busy work for our brains, but it's not actually work that is going to move things in your business, right? Actual revenue generating activities and experiences and things that you can do that are actually going to give you results or lead to some type of results that's going to change something in your business. So that's what I do. And that way, you're not just taking action for the sake of taking action, right? Sometimes we want to move towards a specific goal, but the action that we're taking is, at the end of the day, it's not working. It's making us feel exhausted, right? It's not rooted in an intentional belief. Like, you can take this action all day, but if your thought is, I'm so uniquely fucked up, this is never going to work for me, or like this worked for someone else, but like, how could it work for me? Or it couldn't work for me because XYZ. Like, we create these stories in our heads as to why something specifically will not work for us, right? Like, our human brains just do that. There isn't actually anything wrong with you. It's literally just your human brain braining. But that happens when we put so much weight on the action and we don't connect it to a sensation. We don't connect it to a specific thought that we want to have, right? Like, it's not linked back to something that's concrete and something that's intentional. It's just action for the sake of action. And then all the while, you have all of these different thoughts that are running through your head, like, I'm not meant to do this. This is not going to work for me, right? All of that is literally, like, think of a literal projector, right? It is being projected in the back of your brain. And so because you have that running, that's like the radio station that you are tuned into, then Of course, right? It's going to show up in that way. And the results are never going to be the results that you truly desire, because you are emitting this type of vibration and frequency that isn't aligned to the thing that you want. Does that make sense? So what I'm saying here is, when you are solving for fun in your business, you're solving for joy in your business, you are allowing yourself to create a whole new way of showing up, a whole new way of thinking that actually allows you to do less, right? So the action ends up being less of this, I just have to feel busy and productive and do all of these things that are going to burn me the fuck out. And it gets to be action that feels so aligned to you, with the foundation at the very bottom of, I am an in-demand coach. People want to work with me, right? I am a fully booked coach. I am a 6-figure coach, and actually feeling into what those words mean to you, how that shows up in your body, right? How would it feel when that actually comes to life for you, right? Not just saying it for the sake of saying it, because also that's not going to do anything either, but actually feeling into every single word and every single vibration as it finds its place in your body. And then just slowly, and it doesn't even have to be slowly, but aligning yourself into that very congruent way of being, so that your mind, your subconscious brain, the way that you show up, it now fully sees, like, there isn't even a line between what is happening now versus what you want to happen. It's just one. Does that make sense? Like, the things that you want, the desires that you want, are happening already on a timeline in the future, and you are just tapping into it right now. And when you're able to, not trick necessarily, but when you're able to allow your subconscious and your energy and your body and your vibration to fully like sink into that, that is when you start showing up as that person, and it just blends together. Like, that present and the future version of your desires start like melding together, because you're so in alignment with it that how could it not, right? It's like you are a perfect match for it. It's like when, what is a good example? It's like when you're trying to find a lock for a specific key that you have and nothing is working. Maybe one of them like fits, but it doesn't turn, right? Maybe one of them like fits, but it doesn't open the door. It's like you are a perfect match for this lock and this key combination, and it opens the door and it works for you and it allows you to experience the desire that you want. But that starts with you feeling and allowing yourself to feel a certain way, even without this is the most important part, is even without seeing the evidence of it already happening. Okay? Because if we all saw the evidence of what we want already starting to come to us, of course we would all believe. There would be no need for manifestation. There would be no need for even having desires and goals and having faith, or right? Like, there would be no need for any of that, because we would already see, oh, it's happening. Okay, well, I can stop doing what I need to do. It's because we can't see it on the plane that we're on right now. We're only limited to a certain amount of information. And that's for a reason, because if you were shown everything and if you knew everything, you would be so overwhelmed. Like, it would be such an overwhelming experience that you wouldn't even be able to enjoy the present. So because we are only limited to the amount of information that we need to have in the moment, the rest of it needs to be us tapping into a version, a plane, a realm that you cannot see with your naked eye. You have to step into a timeline that is not going to be seen or validated in this physical 3D experience, but is available. I have like really bad allergies today. it is available for you to see if you are available to receive it, right? Does this make sense? So you might not be able to show it to somebody else, right? Like if you're in the beginning of building your coaching business and you are working on your intentional thoughts and you're working on, showing up as an abundant coach and you're getting coached on it and you're doing all of these things, you're taking all of these steps in your business, but you're not seeing any money yet, the people around you might be like, well, it's not actually working because you don't have any money coming in. Like based on our limited resources and understanding, we are only looking at certain things that we've been taught to look at as human beings. Yay, Brittany said totally feeling this. Yay, okay, amazing. We live in such a logical society where logic is superior to everything. Right? We've become so detached from our own bodies, right? Like I'm not going to get into this right now, but like even making decisions for our own bodies is something that gets taken away from us, right? So when you allow yourself to drop into your body and you trust the part of you that knows, or you ask yourself a question and you wait for your body to respond and how it responds, right? Maybe it's like a tingly, like yes for confirmation, or maybe it's like your stomach is like sinking to the ground type of feeling for a no, right? Like you want to drop into your body and feel those emotions. And we've become so disconnected from doing that. We look for statistics and logic and asking other people and outsourcing our brain and crowdsourcing for information that we've become so detached from just trusting our gut and our intuition and the things that we were born with, that is our inner guidance system. And so where was I going with that? Oh yeah. Sometimes we feel that some things are happening and we're not completely sure of it, right? But like we try to find evidence of it and we try to find evidence of like what is working and we don't even know, because it's really just like, so there's so much that's happening on this plane that doesn't line up with what we can show other people. And because we feel that and we sense that, it feels like nothing's happening, when in reality, there is so much that's happening, right? There's so much that is happening for your own good, and that is constantly happening to serve you and to serve your highest good, and that all of your desires and manifestations and everything that you want is like slowly calibrating, and then eventually the final step is you seeing evidence of it in your physical reality. But there's so much that happens in that realm of belief, and allowing yourself to create beliefs out of thin air, like you literally creating beliefs and thoughts that come from what you are deciding to believe, right? Because again, how easy would it be if you already saw evidence of everything happening and then you started to believe, right? It's because you are the one who is meant to bring this to life. That's never been done before. That's never been seen before. And so because of that, you are showing up in a different way that doesn't have a blueprint, that doesn't have a template. It doesn't have a strategy. There is no guidance necessarily on this. Not that there's like no guidance at all, but there isn't a exact plan for how you're meant to do things, because you're the one that's meant to do it, right? And so of course, like having mentors and people who understand and are able to guide you towards that goal is important, especially and certainly when they understand that you are the one making the decisions, that you are the one in the driver's seat, you are the one making those executive actions and changes and decisions for yourself and for your business. And it's so important. And so I just want to remind you that like there's just so much that we are not privy to seeing and experiencing, and that is okay. It doesn't mean that anything's gone wrong. I always like to say that there's so much clarity after confusion, after chaos, because there's literally nowhere else to go. But you are the one who has to stay to manage your mind and manage your thoughts and think intentionally and look at what you want to believe. Your beliefs are literally just thoughts that you've told yourself over and over and over again. So you can look at your reality right now and put together what you have created in your reality by looking at the thoughts, looking at the beliefs, looking at what you're telling. How are you talking to yourself? What is your self-talk like on a daily basis? If it is constantly worry and scarcity and, victimhood and, oh, why did this happen to me? And, oh, why do I have to go through this and that? And, oh, just scarcity on a daily basis. Of course, you're just going to attract more of that, right? You're just going to attract more and more and more of that. And our world is already so scarcity filled. It's so filled of scarcity. There's so many things that we are constantly just looking at with lack, right? It's the way that we've found a way to bond with each other almost, which is crazy to think about, but it's so true. How often have you bonded with somebody over complaining and being in victimhood and going, oh, why does this have to happen to me? Oh, it's happening to you too. Oh no, right? It's almost like we just aren't able to recognize the power that we have as individuals, the power that we hold in our lives, in our businesses, and the ways that we can change every single thing. And our reality is a direct reflection of every single thing that we are choosing to think, right? It is not happening to us. There are so many things that we are able to shift. And there's so many things that show up in our reality just because we, in some twisted subconscious way, it just fucking turns us on. There is a part of us, and this happens to every single one of us, I don't think that anyone's exempt from this, that we love the attention and the validation and the camaraderie that comes with being broke or complaining about something specific, right? It can apply to anything. And so recognizing that is number one, recognizing that you have the power to create a different reality, to create a completely different way of showing up, and deciding, okay, well, how instead do I want to feel about this? How instead do I want to switch this perspective? How can I actually reframe this so that it ends up serving me instead of knocking me down or letting it knock me down? You are in charge. You are the one that is deciding, and you are the one that is powerful, right? Not powerless. So deciding how you want to feel, deciding what you're going to think, that's going to create more of those feelings. And then from there, what actions feel aligned to that thought feeling combo that is going to help you get closer to the results that you want to see in your life. And specifically when it comes to feeling joyful and feeling fun in your business, I was coaching somebody on this earlier this week, actually, and she was telling me, I'm not used to feeling fun in my business. It's not something that I typically look for. I have fun with my clients, coaching my clients, but outside of that, I'm not really seeking out fun. What do I do? And I was I believe that inherently in your body, this is not an answer for me. This is not an answer, or this is not a question for me or for anyone else. It is something that just ask your inner child. What would make your inner child light up? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Go and do that. right? Ask the spirit of your business, what is going to make you feel joyful and fun and expansive? Go and do that, right? You have to be able to trust and ask yourself, what is it that I want? Like, ask certain parts of your body, ask the emotion that you want to experience, ask fun itself, ask joy itself, talk to joy. How would you want joy to show up more in your life? What can you do? What can you think? How can you open your arms and receive more joy? And it's not going to happen. Same thing with money, right? More money is not going to show up in your bank account and in your life by going, oh my God, where's all the money? Where's my money not coming my way? And then you go off and complain about gas prices for, 10 minutes with your friends, right? And then you bash money. Oh, money only comes to certain types of people. Oh, money just wants to leave all of the time, right? You're creating this narrative around money, and money is going, I'm going to stay as far as possible from that person. And money's not going to want to be near that type of frequency, right? So deciding the way that you want to show up, like you can literally feel it in your body, right? You can feel, that's why like part of my coaching includes the somatics of the sensations in your body, because that is where your body is trying to tell you things. Your body is speaking to you constantly. How is your body telling you when you're constricted versus when you are open and you're ready to receive? Like you can literally feel a difference between even words like words like I need this launch to go well. I need this sale from this client. I need this person, or else it's going to mean XYZ about me. It's going to mean that I'm not a good coach. It's going to mean whatever, right? Like you're in this like constricted flow of energy where you are demanding or expecting or begging, right? I think begging is a good word because we get into that energy a lot of like, universe, please, 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 I need this so much. You don't understand. Like, I need this, and this to happen, right? That's a certain type of energy. And that's a vibration on a certain frequency. And when you literally just like roll your shoulders back, you like unclench all the areas of your body, you allow yourself to just be open. That is when you're in the mentality and modality of receiving. And sometimes your manifestation wants to come to you and it's like ready for you, and like it's always ready for you, right? And it always wants you because you want it, or else you wouldn't even have the desire in the first place, right? All your manifestations want you. So it's like ready to come to you, but you're not in that receptive state, right? You're not opening yourself to be receptive, because you're vibrating on a completely different frequency that is stuck in victimhood, or you're stuck in this ungrateful version of yourself. You're stuck in this other way of showing up in your life that's not authentic to who you are and not in alignment with the manifestation that you are trying to call in. And it might want to come towards you and it might be ready for you, but you are consistently pushing it away with the things that you say, with the way that you vibrate, with the frequency that you are on, which is why this is so important. And in my signature offer, Business Activation Academy, the entire academy and our weekly coaching calls are for new coaches, people who want to become coaches, coaches that have launched their business since starting BAA, right? I don't just focus on helping them get to their money goals ASAP. Like, I'm not trying to get them there as soon as fucking possible, with any way possible. I really focus on, how are you feeling? What are the emotions in your body? What are you allowing yourself to feel? What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? How are you talking to yourself? I look at it as one big, I think of business as a huge disguise for like the biggest self-love experiment and self-trust experiment that you've ever gone through. Everything comes back to how much you love and trust and accept yourself. Everything in business can be led back to those things. And so instead of, let me try to get my client as quick as I can to 5K months, right? Which again, there's nothing wrong with that. But if that's the only focus, without focusing on how are you feeling, what is the way that their energy needs to show up? How do they need to honor themselves and talk kindly to themselves and actually recognize and accept they're inherently worthy before they start attaching their worth to these money goals, before they start chasing, whatever it is that they want in their business and making that mean something about them? Or, right, like making it mean something about them, whether they hit it or not. Like there's always so much power in recognizing the foundations of what you want to create in your business first, in your life first, with your brain first. And that way, anything that happens outside of that, anything that ends up like any money goal, any milestone, anything that you achieve, you already have the foundation of who you are. Like so many of us still aren't able to answer the question of who are you? Like beyond being a business owner, beyond being a daughter or a son or a friend or a sister or whatever identities that you've categorized yourself into, who actually are you? And how are you allowing yourself to experience the joy and the fun and the expansion that you're meant to experience in business? Right? You weren't put on this world, this earth to just work and work and work and work. You weren't put on this earth to slave away and never spend any time enjoying pleasure and fun and joy and all of the things that you so deserve and that get you to your manifestations so much faster. So I will end on this. I was coaching my client on this earlier in our weekly BAA call. And it was around how she was going to end up being the highest earning version of herself, okay? And I was telling her, I was coaching her on this, and I was like, what if having the most fun and being the most expansive version of yourself is the way to get to your highest earning version of yourself? What if you followed pleasure all the way to the end of your goals? What if you followed joy to the end of all of your goals? And you allowed yourself to just let that lead. Like you solve for fun, you solve for joy, you solve for pleasure and all of the things that light you up versus what do I need to do, right? Instead of what do you need to do, asking yourself, who do I need to become? Who is this person that I need to be? What version of myself do I need to show up as in order to be that highest earning person, or that highest earning version of myself, right? Okay, there was a question that said, what do you say to people who aren't business coaches looking to make more sales? Yeah, I would say the exact same thing, right? Making more sales, becoming the most highest earning version of yourself. Who do you need to become? Asking that version of yourself. Like I would be in conversation with the version of yourself that's already making more sales over and over and over. I would ask myself, what do my clients need from me, right? Not just clients that are paying you, but clients that aren't paying you in your community. Look at everyone as your clients. What do they need, right? I would stop thinking about, like letting myself spiral and being in my own head about it and really thinking about what can I show up and say and think all the time so that my clients know that I am here to support them, right? Because really at the end of the day, like if your clients knew exactly what you did and how you could support them, then they would be working with you, reaching out to you, like you would see the evidence of that start to show up. People would start messaging you, right? So asking yourself, how do I need to think? How do I need to show up? Who do I need to become in order to be this person who's making whatever it is you want, 5K months, 10K months, 15K months, right? That's all available to you at any time. Literally at any time. But you have to be in the frequency of it. You have to be in alignment with that frequency, or else it won't be as attracted to you. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. I will catch you all later. Thank you for hopping on. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. If this episode resonated with you, please take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at tiffanychung.co. I truly appreciate interacting with every one of you. Catch you all on the next one.